coming
Did
up.
your mother intentionally have you in this country so that she could to stay here?
Yes,
She would be
yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good. She made a good choice.
Do you think it's right that women, whether they're Hispanics or whatever,
Right.
can come across the border and drop a baby and stay here?
Well, she had a work permit, so for her, it didn't say anything in the work permit she couldn't do that.
No, I'm asking you though.
Yes, I don't have a problem with that.
So you think it's right?
I think it's a rational choice.
But do you think it's right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
He
He
said
didn't say
most.
all. He didn't say all. He didn't say most. Now you're not being honest. He said, "Here's what we have coming across the borders."
There goes my chance to be mayor of LA. That's it. This video is going to be used against me in a court of law.
So he wasn't lying. You called the man a liar. You wouldn't want to be called a liar. Welcome to the Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Ever since the election, there's been a lot of talk about the immigration issue. I have with me today Dr. Alvaro Huerta, assistant professor at California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. Thank you so much, sir, for coming in.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist?
Yes, yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. Well, actually, I was raised Catholic.
Right. You're the first atheist Hispanic person I've met.
I'm not going to bite, so don't worry.
Are you like an ankle baby?
That's what Republicans would call me, yes. My mother.
That's amazing. I never met an ankle baby before.
And I'm kind of thin to be an anchor, but yes.
What's it like being an ankle baby?
Well, my mother was a rational actor, and she said she was pregnant with me in Tijuana. I was conceived there. She decided for me to be born in Sacramento.
Did your mother intentionally have you in this country so that she could to stay here?
Yes,
She
yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good. She made a good choice. Yeah, I wouldn't have been at UCLA or Berkeley, so it was a good choice on her part.
Oh, okay.
She's a very rational person, and she was really smart. I've written books, I've done TED Talks, and I've toured all over the world in lecturing and things of that nature. My brother's a world-famous artist. And I'll tell you something. Compared to my mother, I'm lazy because she was very entrepreneurial, very driven.
We tend
very,
to be
very
that way
smart.
because the parents in those days didn't have much, so they worked harder. And then their kids, they give them a lot, make sure they get the best, so they work not as hard.
Most American kids are lazy and they're not as driven.
Yeah.
If America wants to save itself, they need to learn from the immigrants and their work ethic and their family values.
I agree.
So there's a lot there.
So let me ask, do you think it's right that women, whether they're Hispanics or whatever,
Right.
can come across the border and drop a baby and stay here?
Well, she had a work permit, so for her, it didn't say anything in the work permit she couldn't do that.
No,
So,
I'm asking you though.
yes, I don't have a problem with that.
So you think it's right,
I think it's a rational choice.
but do you think it's right?
Yes, yes.
You think it's right that they can break the law, cross the border, and stay in the United States just by dropping a baby here?
Well, I don't believe the way the laws are set up. I think we can do it differently.
But you do think it's right that these women should be able to do this?
I think when they do it, I think they're being rational beings. They're doing what's right for them and
Well,
what's
I
right for them.
understand if I lived in Mexico, I'd try to come here too, by any means necessary. But do you think it's right that they should be able to just walk across the border, drop this baby, and be a citizen? And stay here? Well, not become a citizen, but stay here.
Oh, yes, yes. I don't have
You think that's right?
yes, yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, you think it's right. Do you identify with your race?
I don't identify with my race or my class. I believe that I'm a human being. For example, a lot of times when people talk about immigrants, I don't even want to call them immigrants. I want to refer to them as human beings.
Why don't you want to call them immigrants?
Because a lot of times when you put labels on people, then it's easy to exploit them. It's easy to take advantage of them. So if you say to somebody, you're a citizen and you're an immigrant, then therefore.
But when you call them immigrants, you're putting a label on it, right? You just want to call them human beings.
Pretty much.
How about human beings who broke the law?
Well, human beings without legal status would be fine with me. My concern in general, I understand that we need labels, and as an academic, we work with labels. So I understand that part.
We can't live without label.
My concern is that when a label has a negative connotation, where now to say immigrant it has become like a dirty word. because because of the politics.
Immigrant is not a dirty word. Illegal immigrant or illegal. You don't like the words illegal aliens, right?
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because you were so. Did you tell my producer you didn't want to say me to say illegal aliens?
When she invited me to the show, I didn't know much about the show.
Right.
And then when I read about it and I read about you and your comments and your books and all that, I said to myself, maybe I shouldn't go. And then I said to myself, oh, why not? You know, he's invited me.
That's right.
But I don't want to be in a show where I'm put, like if I'm on trial or if I'm running for office or anything like that, because I'm not.
Right.
So that was my only concern.
So you don't have a problem with me saying illegal aliens?
Well, you could say it, but I'm not, it's not something that I accept or
okay.
I find it. I don't think it is something Christian-like. You know,
To say illegal aliens?
To say illegal aliens, because you know, when I was growing up, I used to watch this program, My Uncle Martian or whatever it's called.
Right.
I forget.
Yeah,
that
I remember
program.
that.
Right, so like an old program. I used to
Yes.
Right, so that's to me that's an alien because it was a Martian, and people that are green and have the little antennas, you know.
But whose fault is it? Is it my fault that I have to call them
No,
that?
no,
because
no.
it was them. It was them who broke the law to come here. So they are aliens from a foreign country, and they broke the law to come to my country. So is it my fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault that they broke the law to get here, creating that title for themselves?
Well, it's the law's fault. I think we should
No.
I think we should change the laws to not to demonize immigrants and not to treat them
Well, how are you demonizing them?
well by putting them this label that they're
But if they
illegal.
didn't come across the borders illegally, we wouldn't call them that. If
Well,
they came through the
yeah.
front door, we'd just say immigrants.
Well, the people that came, the ancestors of the people that invaded Mexico and took the Mexican land. I mean, do we call them invaders?
If that's what they did.
You know, do I call their ancestors? You know, the people that.
So it's their fault then that they're called that because they are breaking the law, not the American citizens, right?
Well, the law itself needs to change. I don't accept the law.
I
and
know, but
I think,
whether you want to change the law or not.
No, I understand what
I just
you're
want to
saying.
make it clear whose fault is it? The ones who are breaking the law to come here, or the ones who are calling them illegals because they're doing that?
Well, I believe that these people do not leave their country just because one day they want to wake up and separate from their families.
I understand that.
You know, I know you believe in the family and
Right.
you have those values, and like I was telling you about my parents and most Catholics, they believe exactly like you do, exactly, very traditional, and so on and so forth. Like Trump, I'm against NAFTA, so this is where I see your question where it's problematic. NAFTA, with the free trade agreement with Canada, United States, and Mexico, create a situation where the United States can go into and disrupt those local economies by producing corn or at a cheaper rate.
Right.
Where it forces people that have these small plots, to leave their land because they can't compete against the United States.
I totally understand
And
why they
and
want to come.
it forces them.
Yeah, so I do understand that. But I still need an answer. Whose fault is it? My fault that I have to call them illegal aliens, or is it their fault?
It's the government's fault.
No. They're the one breaking the law. Mexico don't even allow people to come across their borders.
If it was just a question of choice and people like individual choice, they woke up like I want to go
But
to
you're
the United
still
States.
running away from my question.
Well, because the question, I don't agree with the premise of the question. The problem is that the U.S. government and U.S. government policies, the ones that Trump is against, like NAFTA, are the same policies that produce immigration to begin with. Technically, they are breaking the law.
And are they coming?
Technically, yes, because
Right, and are they aliens? They're coming from
I wouldn't call them aliens,
but they are aliens in that they're coming from another country to another one.
if they were coming from Mars, I would call them aliens, but that I cannot concede.
But you do agree that they are breaking the law to come here?
The way the law is written, yes.
All right,
yes.
I appreciate that.
And I believe with Trump against NAFTA and things of that nature,
Yeah.
I don't
So were
believe.
you disappointed?
I was disappointed because of his rhetoric and the way he treated women, the way he treated.
How does he treat women?
Well, when he's talking about grabbing their private parts.
Have you ever spoken that way?
Not like that, no.
But you've
No.
said something like that.
Wow.
You look like you've said it. So you know you've said it.
I've never been, physically, I'm not like a locker room guy. You know, I've
But
always
you
been
have
thin all
said
my
that
life.
stuff like that.
Not
right?
like that, no,
But
not
you
like
have said similar stuff.
I've been in environments where people said it, but I'm not running for
No,
office.
you have
and-
said it too.
Oh, not like that.
Coming
no.
from East LA, you've said it. So you have said it, right?
When I run for office, they're going to use this tape against me. So there goes my nomination for the Supreme Court. So I'm worried about that.
So you have said similar things.
No,
you
not
might
like-
not have
not like
said
that.
the exact words that.
I've been in environment where I grew up. People said and they killed people. They did drugs. I've seen police killed
Right.
my friends.
That's why I know you have said it.
I've seen a lot, but
So he didn't treat women like that. He was talking to another guy, as you have done, and that's what guys do. They're bragging about what they do with women.
oh yeah, no, I didn't say that. Yeah.
No, you didn't say that, but you
I
said
understand what
similar.
you're saying, but
But you have said similar.
no, not like that, not like that.
Not like that, but something. You have said things like that. Not like what he said, but similar. You can be honest.
No, not like that. No. Like I know people that are like that. I grew up with people, but there's a within any
Well, you
group.
can tell me later when the show
Yeah,
is
there
over
you
what
go.
you said.
Yeah, happy hour. Within any group, you're gonna have a group. You're gonna have like one or two guys like that, but not the whole group is like that.
And so since
Unless
he's-
it's like a frat house or something
Yeah.
like that. Then yes, the whole group can be that way, if they're consuming liquor and if they're behaving in
Yeah.
a certain way. You know.
So why are you saying that he's disrespecting women when you know most, if not all men, do that kind of stuff?
No, I know that.
You're just saying what the liberal feminist
Growing
women
up,
say.
growing up, I've been in environments where men talk about that, but it's always been, from my experience, like a minority.
So he wasn't being disrespectful to women.
When Trump says that Mexico is sending their worst, they're sending rapists, murderers, and criminals, I mean, that's, to me, he's generalizing, and that's being a racist. That's what he's calling my father, my mother that, and my father's
He
more
didn't
of a-
call you a father, mother.
and my father's more of a man than Trump. You know, like if he was alive, and I even told Trump in my article, I said, if you want to talk, you can talk tough. He doesn't know tough. I mean, how tough was his life? Like, you know, one day the dad took away 2 nannies and now he only had 3. I mean, how tough was it? You know, did he ever go to the military? What did he grow up in?
Did you go to the military?
No, I didn't grow up in military.
I rest my case. But let me ask, was he lying when he said that those type of people were coming across the border as well?
In any group, you're gonna have a minority.
Are you saying that's not happening?
That's not happening in the terms the way he said it, because he
But
said
it is happening.
some, but not all.
So it is happening.
Some, but he said he
He
didn't
did
say
not
some.
say all. He
He
named the type of people
No, he said,
who are,
and some are good.
Right.
And some are good.
Right.
When you say that, that means that the most are bad. So
no, that's what you're
I
reading.
memorized that.
So let's go back to this.
Actually, I have a
So
tattoo on that thing.
he did tell the truth about that happening.
You could say that to any group, and but the problem is that
You're
when
not answering my question. Was he telling the truth that was happening?
I'll accept that it happens in all groups.
So he was telling the truth?
He should be a lawyer. It's a truth.
Why should I be a
It's
lawyer?
Because you're good at the questions. It's true. I'll accept it in all groups, like in all populations. Like
Let's
that.
keep the focus on the people coming across the borders.
The majority-
Was he telling the truth?
No, not-
when he said you have this type of person coming, this type of person, and some good ones. Was he telling the truth?
He wasn't telling the truth because he generalized.
But you
He
just
said
agreed that they do have that coming across the borders as well.
some, but not all.
So he was telling the
I
truth
think
then.
probably, like, let's say if you have 100 people come over,
No, stay
probably
with
like
me.
1 or 2.
Stay with me. That was happening, right?
Not the way he phrased it, no.
But it was happening.
What I'm saying is that he generalized.
Was it happening?
Some, not all.
But it was happening.
Yeah, some, yes.
So it was happening.
Some, yes.
Yes, it was happening.
Some, yes.
So he wasn't lying there.
He was like, because he said all.
He
said
didn't say
most.
all. He didn't say all. He didn't say most. Now you're not being honest. He said, here's what we have coming across the borders.
There goes my chance to be mayor of LA. That's it. This video is going to be used against me in a court of law. You know,
So he wasn't lying. You called the man a liar. You wouldn't want to be called a liar if you weren't
I'll call him
lying.
a liar, 'cause he
And
can't do
I'm a little
anything.
surprised that coming from the background you've come from. I'm
I
a
don't
little
have a problem
surprised.
calling him a liar.
But he wasn't lying. He told the truth about that. You just admitted that.
I admit that in any group, whether they're Mexicans or Americans.
But he wasn't talking about any group. He was talking about the people crossing the border.
Yes, like the criminals that.
Let's move on. We got it clear that you were lying.
Like the criminals that invaded Iraq. I mean, those are the criminals, not the criminals that he's talking about.
Let's stay with the point. I'm glad I finally got you to admit the truth. What do you think about the travel ban that President Trump has on the those 7 countries?
That's a good question.
What
yes.
Muslims are coming from?
This is part of my problem with Trump. I'm an atheist, and there's no reason why I should be defending Muslims. There's no reasons why I should be defending Hindus or Christians or any religious group, because I don't believe in any of that. But what I do believe is that I don't think that any group should be singled out that way. I'm against the ban. It is a Muslim ban.
That's
during
not
the
true.
campaign, that's
You're
what he
not
said.
telling the truth again. He never called it a Muslim ban. Why are you saying that?
Because in the campaign, that's what he said.
But
he was
no,
gonna do.
he never called it a Muslim ban. You just said he did. That's not true.
Yeah, he said it in the campaign.
But he didn't call, when he put the ban
Oh, well, no, what he
on those
did-
7
yes, yes.
countries, he did not call it a Muslim ban.
Right,
Isn't that
right.
true?
He on the
Isn't that
in
true?
the language, he did not call it that. But
So
that's
then
what
why are
it is.
you saying that he did?
Because I'm going based on his campaign.
But no, you just said
promises.
he said
He said it
he
during the
did that.
campaign.
That's not what he said. He did though.
He said during the campaign he's gonna put a ban on.
But when
Muslims.
he
said
put
that.
the ban, he did not call it a Muslim ban.
Well, he did it. Yeah.
But you
You're right.
said he did.
No, I said the rhetoric.
No,
was
you
during
said
the
he
campaign.
called it a Muslim ban.
During the campaign.
No. That's not, you added that since I proved you wrong. So are you okay with the ban?
No.
He did not. So you want terrorists to come in and kill you?
If he's concerned with terrorists, the terrorists that attacked 9/11, how come he didn't put Saudi Arabia?
So had he put Saudi Arabia in there, you would have been satisfied with
No, I
it?
wouldn't be satisfied.
So you still wouldn't be happy. So why are you asking that question?
Because in the language of the executive order, it talks about 9/11. What does that have to do with the countries that are there? I mean, the people that came,
Because
the,
we
the
had
cause
a
9/11 came
9/11.
from Saudi Arabia. They didn't come from.
But-
they didn't come from Iraq. They didn't come from Syria. They didn't come from these countries that are Yemen.
Why are
that were
you
banned.
bringing up? You said you would not have been happy had he added Saudi Arabia.
No, I
to
wouldn't
it,
be
so
happy
why-
at all because I think that.
Is
he's
it
targeting-
wrong to protect your home first?
No. There's nothing wrong
So
with
what
that.
is he doing wrong? He's protecting his home.
Well, if you knew that was the case, then why didn't he put Saudi Arabia?
What's wrong with
Maybe he has,
protecting?
maybe he has like special interest there. Or
What's
disrupt
wrong
his,
with protecting your
disrupt his
home?
hotel interest or something.
What's wrong with protecting your home where you know where your enemy is?
No, there's
coming
nothing
from?
wrong with that. I think
So he didn't do anything wrong then.
Like he didn't ban Texas, and we had somebody who did a terrorist act.
Listen to me.
A president who did a terrorist act against Iraq.
He's protecting his homeland first.
Kissinger was
So he didn't do
is a
anything
war
wrong.
criminal. I didn't see him put Kissinger on the ban.
Where's Kissinger now?
Well, the United States.
Where's Kissinger?
Kissinger, Henry Kissinger.
Right? Is he still in government?
Well, he's a private citizen. He should be.
But he's not in government, right?
But he should be in jail.
He's not in government, right?
No, he's not in
I
government.
rest my case. Let's talk about what's happening. So you agree with me that he didn't do anything wrong by putting the ban on the 7 states?
No. There's no. I agree. I can agree with you, Your Honor, because you're like a good lawyer, that like a minority of people are doing bad things. There's over 1 billion people that are Muslims, and the way he's talked about Muslims, he always cast this general during the campaign. Obviously now he's the president. He's only focusing on tweeting and supporting his daughter not getting booted out of Nordstrom, stuff like that, important things.
That's amazing you're speaking that way. Let me ask, is there anything about the president that you admire?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
You hate manhood?
I hate bullies.
Do you hate manhood?
No.
Are you a real man?
Yes.
And what is a real man?
A real man is somebody that treats people with decency and respect. A real man is not somebody that mocks the disabled. Is not somebody that calls people losers or.
But you're marking Trump and his family. So it sounds like you're not a real man.
I'm mocking.
You're doing what you said a
I'm
real man
mocking-
doesn't do, and
I'm
that's what
mocking-
you've been doing.
I'm mocking the fact that they're taking advantage of our country.
So
They're
you're
using-
not a real man.
Well, I survived the project, so if anybody wants to test me, then they can come after me. So.
Does racism exist?
Oh yes.
Racism exists?
Yes.
And where's your proof?
Well, as racist as the policies, you had Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow. You had her an interview recently.
Yeah, what a dummy, huh?
Well, no.
That lady is so dumb.
No,
I don't know.
she's a really smart
gotta
woman.
admit.
She's a really smart woman.
No,
I like her.
You gotta admit she's dumb, right?
I'm not gonna. For some reason, I'm like have to agree with all these different things. There is no way she is so smart.
No.
No. She's a brilliant author.
Did you hear the interview?
I heard part of the interview, but
And
I
you
read
saw
the
how
book.
she could not answer questions.
Well, people are not trained in certain disciplines. Like the way you interview, you're trained. You and Tavis and people like that. You know, over the years, you become really good at it.
But she's a liar. And see, the thing about me, I love what's right. It's not like I've been trained to interview. It's just that I love the truth more than anything else. I love my country. I'm not an African American. I'm an American. So I deal with reality. I deal with the truth. Where that woman and most professors nowadays, they deal in lies. And so when you have a conversation with them about, and you're putting the truth out there, they feel trapped because they are incapable of telling the truth.
Wow, have you read her book?
Yes. That's why I had her on the show. She's a liar. She made up stuff. She's insane. She's talking about the past. She's a nutcase.
Well, I don't agree with that. I mean, you make a lot of points, and I don't agree with most of them.
But you loved that interview, and you agreed with me because when you were watching that interview, you were going, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
So let me ask.
No, I didn't say that.
My final question. Did you have fun?
Yes, you're very entertaining and very, you have a very good way of asking questions. I thought you were going to put some vodka in there or something. Real men only drink vodka. Where's the tequila? There goes my run for governorship. You cornered me too much.